Hey there, Sports History fans. Arnie Chapman here from the Sports History Network to share with you an awesome announcement. Now dig on this. 4 of our amazing podcasts have clinched spots in the final round of the Sports Podcast Awards, and we need your support to take home the trophy. First up, we've got Basketball History 101, Driving the Lane in the Best Basketball category. Then on deck, we've got Orville Mulligan, Sports Writer. He's cracking up the competition in the Best Sports Comedy category. Marty's Illegal Stick is dominating the ice next in the Best Hockey category. And last but not least, we have Wrestling with Heels on powerbombing its way to victory in the Best Wrestling category. Now, again, we're counting on you to cast your vote and help out these incredible podcasters secure their well-deserved recognition. It's super easy. All you gotta do is head over to the dedicated landing page. That's at sportshistorynetwork.com/vote. Again, that's sportshistorynetwork.com/vote. Now, let's take another look at sports yesteryear with this episode brought to you by, of course, the Sports History Network.
All right, welcome to the show. It was a crappy weekend of picks for me this week. So that's fun. Super Bowl matchup is wrong, obviously, for a second time this year. So that's great. But hey, before we get into all that BS, let's start off by saying, hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming to the show and listening to us. Listen to me, anyways. Still working on that special guest situation. Apparently no one wants to step up and be the first guy. So, hopefully, by the beginning of next month, we'll have it figured out. We'll have some people on here. Start having some folks on here that want to be on the podcast and talk about sports and give you different insight as well. So, of course, this is the NFL playoffs. That's what we're doing. It's what our podcast is about right now. NFL football, the NFL playoffs. All right. So we played last week. We said that the Cowboys and Bills are going to be in the Super Bowl, and that did not happen. All right, because we felt like the Jimmy Johnson curse was lifted as soon as he got put in the Ring of Honor, and that may have been the case, but apparently Mike McCarthy is still the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So therefore, with them being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, he let us down. Okay, he let all Cowboys fans down. I'm not even a Cowboys fan. I'm a Raiders fan, baby. And we were let down from the word go. All right. I mean, we had Josh McDaniels as the head coach. Then we got AP. So hopefully AP can keep it up. That's all there is to it. We need to make Mark Davis has yet to interview anybody for that job, by the way. And Antonio Pierce has already interviewed for the Titans and the Falcons job. So hopefully Mark Davis gets his head out of his arse and makes Antonio Pierce the head coach. So back to Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys. Was it more of the Cowboys defense can't play from behind, as in they can't stop anybody? Was it Mike McCarthy getting out-coached by Matt LaFleur? Or was it Jordan Love just outplaying the entire Cowboys defense team as well? Or is it Dak Prescott just can't win a big game? Now, really don't want to harp on this Cowboys thing that much, but it chaps my gears here that they would go out and lose at the Green Bay Packers, who absolutely hate the Green Bay Packers. Living in Iowa, seeing all these Packer fans just makes it disgusting for me. So, little bit of know about the Cowboys. They only beat 3 teams this year with a winning record. Okay, the Lions, who the Lions got robbed. They beat the Eagles, and they beat the Rams. That's it. And it wasn't like they beat the Rams and a good Rams right now either. It was when the Rams were still trying to figure it out. And Cooper Kupp had just came off injury. That's when that took place. So I think the Cowboys were frauds. Yeah, I'm going to say it. They were frauds. Mike McCarthy is probably going to be no longer the head coach, as Jerry Jones likes old white guys. It's not, it's a knock on Jerry Jones, obviously, because that's what Jerry Jones does. Look at Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, all old white guys that won him Super Bowls. So he's probably going to go with Bill Belichick, who's no longer the head coach in New England. How about those Miami Dolphins, though? Should we move on to the Dolphins quick? I think we shall. So, Miami Dolphins. Frauds as well? I would have to say so. Miami Dolphins had a chance to win the division not once, not twice, but about 3 different times. All they had to do was win a game, and they couldn't, right? They just couldn't win that game to win. So, again, are they frauds? Probably. Because, they really didn't. They beat the Browns 70-20. But they got blown out by the Bills the next week. They got blown out by the Eagles, or beat by the Eagles. The Chiefs beat them by 7 over in Germany. They barely got by the Raiders. So they lost to the Titans. They lost to the Ravens 56-19. And they lost to the Bills 21-14 last game of the season as well. And then they go to KC in the frozen tundra of Kansas City and only put up 7 points when they were the highest scoring offense. So, again, I think the Dolphins probably were frauds. The Eagles. The Eagles are the Eagles. Let's be real. The Eagles were 10-1. They were the talk of the NFL. They were like, oh, yeah, Super Bowl, here we come. And then they fell apart. You know why? Because they stopped tackling. Matt Patricia became their defensive coordinator. Problem number 2. Number 3 was Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball. If Jalen Hurts isn't running for 150 yards and passing for 150, he's not able to pass the ball. And I'll tell you what, watching that game with the Buccaneers and how they got after him, where they only gave him 2 seconds to pass the ball. I don't care who you are. You ain't getting the ball out of your hand if you only got 2 seconds to throw that ball. Especially when his wide receivers aren't helping him out at all because they're not finding even the open areas. I even tell, the girls that I coach, 7th grade girls basketball, hey, it's basketball IQ. Find the open areas. You'll get a pass. Same thing with wide receivers. I understand they got to run routes, but at some point you got to break those routes out and just hit the open area, and hopefully your guy can get you there, right? So then we also got Eagles, frauds. Not frogs, frauds. I'm pretty sure the entire NFC East was not legit, and that's the reason why they had the Giants able to win it all, or win the NFC East as it is, right? So the Bills have been playing playoff football for the last 7 weeks since they were 6-6. Yeah. Hottest team going right now. They get KC finally in Buffalo. It's Patrick Mahomes' first playoff road game, which to me is unfathomable, but whatever. Guess that's how the NFL drew it up. Travis Kelce having an off year, still probably having one of the top 5 years of any tight end ever. So it's going to be a good matchup. That's why they put it on Saturday Night Football at 6:30 on a Sunday. So, might as well bring it out, right? Now, Houston Texans beating up the Cleveland Browns. That defense is scary. That Texans defense is scary. They're a bunch of ball hawks. Okay? They beat the Browns, and I understand the Browns had Joe Flacco, but Joe Flacco was the guy for the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season in the AFC. 4 or 5 weeks of the season in the AFC, right? He's the guy. He's the guy that everybody was talking about. Comeback player of the year, all this stuff, right? And then all of a sudden, he goes to Houston and puts up a dud. It was like Joe Flacco, New York Jets style right here. But the Houston Texans with DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud just look fantastic. And I'm not trying to, I understand. everybody knows I said the Ravens and Niners aren't going to get out of the second round. I'm not pumping up the Texans just to make my pick feel better that the Ravens aren't going to get out of the second round. I'm saying the Ravens aren't getting out of the second round because they really haven't done it with Lamar Jackson as the quarterback. They haven't done it in the Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh era, right? The last time John Harbaugh was to a Super Bowl was Joe Flacco was his quarterback, for crying out loud. So, I mean, and it's not a knock against Lamar, but it's a knock against Lamar. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like the whole Dak Prescott thing. Dak Prescott can win in the season, get to the playoff times, and all of a sudden he's throwing pick sixes. Lamar Jackson's the same way. Now, the Ravens have a better defense. Yeah, it's probably one of the better defenses I've seen the Ravens had in a while, but Houston Texans are just on fire right now. I could really see a Texans-Bills AFC Championship game up in Buffalo, which would be pretty sweet. It would almost be as pretty sweet as the Browns-Bills AFC Championship game that I picked. Just saying. So, I mean, the Texans are looking legit right now, and they actually, in week one, they actually hung with the Ravens for a while. I mean, they did lose 26 to like 7 or something like that, but that's only because they had a bad third quarter when the Ravens put up 15 points. But the Texans had almost the same time of possession. They had more yards for that game, and they got a better running back now in Devin Singletary than Dameon Pierce in my eyes. Plus, Nico Collins and C.J. Stroud are just on one. Okay, then you have the Lions and the Rams. What a game! Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, the trade that changed the NFC landscape, right? The trade that changed two franchises, and now it looks like Jared Goff has another home game against the Buccaneers this weekend after he just put up a heck of a performance on Saturday night. Right? So, or was that Sunday night? I don't know. They just run together. Either way, they put a heck of a Sunday night. So they put a heck of performance on Sunday night, and the Rams just couldn't do anything about it. Like, they held it close, but I think the Lions were up at least by 2 scores before the Rams started getting it close, and then they cut it down to a point, which then the Lions were able to hold on. Aiden Hutchinson, oh my goodness. Sam Laporta, that rookie duo of Laporta and Gibbs has the Lions rocking. Plus, you so throw on St. Brown, and they're just, as long as their defense can show up, the Lions are good. There's a reason why they won the NFC North. Like, it's not because they're not good. There's also a reason why they were picked as Super Bowl favorites at the start of the year, is because the team, Dan Campbell's got that team going on super speed right now. Like, got them all hyped up. So maybe that little lull, where they lost. I mean, again, they got robbed in Dallas. If they don't get robbed in Dallas, they get the 2 seed. Still get 2 home games, which probably better off that they did get the 3 seed and face the Rams. I mean, I thought the Rams were pretty hot. I mean, I had the Rams actually beating the Lions in the first place, which apparently that was wrong because I thought the Lions were dead in the water at the end of the season. And then all of a sudden, they pop up in playoff time, and it's like, let's show up and show out, boys. So, Lions and the Bucks, Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff. It's going to be a good matchup, especially with that Buccaneers defense. Oh my gosh, against Jared Goff, that's going to be a sweet matchup. I'm going to like that matchup a lot. I hope you, and I'm sure you will as well. And then you got the Niners and Packers, a good old-fashioned Niners-Packers championship game, or not championship game, but a divisional round game out there in Santa Clara. The Santa Clara Niners. If the Packers can come out and jump out early to a lead, do the same thing they did with the Cowboys. Hey, we want the ball. You drive the field and you score. Okay, I understand. The Niners got Bosa and they got Young, and did they have a Bosa? Yeah, they got a Bosa, right? They got a Bosa? Yeah. They got Nick Bosa. That's right. And they got Young, and they got a solid defense, right? But the Niners lost games when they had to play from behind. Because Brock Purdy, as I said, is not that guy. Brock Purdy is not that guy that's going to bring a team back to win a game. He needs to have that 38, 40 times rushing attempts, and then he only has to throw the ball 24 times. Like, that's what Brock Purdy needs. He's your game manager, okay? He's just a cheaper version of Jimmy Garoppolo, basically. And quarterbacks are plug and play in Shanahan's system. Now, it's also Kyle Shanahan, the same guy that was the offensive coordinator for the Falcons when they were up 28-3 against the Patriots, right? Was it 28-3? Yeah, it's 28-3. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was 28-3, right? When I can't even type. I'm trying to look it up just to clarify myself, and I can't even type it out. So, Falcons, Patriots, Super Bowl. There we go. Yeah, 28-3. Because he wouldn't run the ball to manage the clock. So, sorry for that. I just wanted to make sure it was 28-3 because, I just saw it earlier. True stories. So, I have a little faith in Kyle Shanahan. Good thing is the Niners are actually healthy this time around, right? They're actually healthy, okay? But if they can't run the ball 40 times, 38, 40 times, they can't give the ball to Christian McCaffrey, they can't get Deebo Samuel open in space, they're going to lose the game. And the Packers are playing with house money right now. They weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs. Jordan Love wasn't supposed to be the next coming of the greatest Packers quarterback line, but for some reason, Packers just go Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and then all of a sudden Jordan Love. So apparently they just know how to draft a quarterback, unlike most other teams. Patriots looking at you. Raiders looking at you. Vikings and Kirk Cousins. That thing's probably done. That's a marriage that's probably going to split up in a hurry because Kirk Cousins is probably a whole lot of money. So, I mean, it's just one of those things like, I think the Packers can beat the Niners. Again, the Niners rested their starters, and it's been 3 weeks since they played a football game. So you have your divisional round matchups, right? A little bit of a breakdown for all of those. Now, what do we got going on here? Let's start with the times, right? So you got Texans Ravens open in the weekend on Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Okay. Then Saturday night you got the Packers Niners at 7:15. Then you got the Buccaneers Lions at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and at 5:30 on Sunday you have the Chiefs Bills. So I'm going Texans with the upset. All right, I think they can upset them. Okay, I'm going Packers with the upset. You know what? Why not? Let's just ride it out. Okay, we're gonna go Lions. Lions. I would love to see a Lions-Packers NFC Championship game and watch the Lions just win to get to the Super Bowl. And then we're going Bills-Chiefs. We're going Bills, baby. Josh Allen in Orchard Park. Josh Allen's just a different beast. Like, Josh Allen is one of those guys that he went to Wyoming, okay? I fell in love with that guy out in Wyoming because, I'm a big Mountain West guy, all right? Love the Mountain West, okay? Probably the only dude in America, in Iowa at least, that likes the Mountain West. And I absolutely love the Mountain West. It's kind of like the Mac. I like the Mac too. Like I love that. I'm also but here's the deal. I roll Tide, okay? Rolling the Tide. All right. So out of that situation there of Texans Bills in the AFC Championship game, Lions Packers NFC Championship game. Yeah, let's roll the dice here. Let's go Bills Packers. You know why? Because there's never been there has yet to be a 7 seed. I know we just expanded the playoffs like a few years ago, but a 7 seed has yet to make the Super Bowl. So why not this year? Why not? Packers, I guess. You know what? I'm just going to put the one guy with a mic jinx on your asses now. All right? Packers are with the jinx. There it is. There's your new Super Bowl champion, okay? You're like the third one I've picked so far, and I'm going to get it wrong just because I want to get this one wrong because I'm putting the jinx on the Packers. All right. Now, what do we got for a little trivia bag today, right? So, what was the name of the football league featuring teams such as the Orlando Rage, the Las Vegas Outlaws, and the Chicago Enforcers? Well, that'd be the Extreme Football League, the XFL, which, by the way, the new XFL and the USFL have merged to make a giant league in spring football. So, spring football hits in March. Just be careful for that. But, however, we have more important things when it comes to March. It's called spring training. And, a little baseball talk here. How about this? I'm wearing a Yankees hat this year. I'm calling it right now. Yankees are going to be the second favorite team I root for this year, with Rizzo and Soto. Oh my gosh, and Aaron Judge, who's just a monster. Like, I'm hopping on that Yankees bandwagon. Okay, all right. Cubs, Yankees, all day. There we go. The two most obscene franchises you can find, besides the Red Sox. But there it is. Cubs, Yankees. Now, I'm picking when we get to the baseball time, we do the season preview as like we do every year, okay? We're going to do that again. Last year, who do we pick for a World Series? It was the Mariners Padres. The one before that we had Yankees Phillies. So I mean we've hit one out of the four teams so far in the last 2 years that we predicted it. So this year we're going to get it right for maybe once in our lives, but I doubt it. Basketball season's here as well, so we got to start doing some basketball podcasts. And again, we're just going to start working in with working in some guests. As soon as we get that first one in, we're going to knock off some more. So I'm loving these 20-minute podcasts. I'm just absolutely loving it. I'm loving how we can just bang it out, get it all squared away. And you guys don't have to listen to me for 46 minutes, right? I mean, that's even a bigger plus for you folks, right? So there we have it. There's this weekend slate of games. There's my picks. I'm going to love it. We'll be back next week with the picks of the AFC and NFC championship game. And we're going to bring a little history to the NFC, AFC championship game as well, because we got a whole list of history topics to discuss when it comes to championship games in the NFL. All right, so as always, this podcast is associated with a. If you just go to shankitgolf.com, use the code ONEGUY, ONEGUY. You'll save yourself some money. Just do that, okay? Also, make sure to go to my Twitch page. Follow me on Twitch, please. We're at 123 followers there. Trying to get to 125 by the end of the month. We got another 13, 14 days left this month. Okay, and then we're at 8 subs, trying to get to 10, so we just need 2 subs more for the month as well. So go over there, drop me a follow, drop a sub if you wanted to. You don't have to, don't have to at all, but never hurts. Never hurts. We got some computer upgrades to buy. Okay, just throwing that out there, just whoring myself out there. Okay, then let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitch. Or on Twitter, follow me on Facebook. One guy with a mic. There you go. We're all the socials are up. Okay. So, again, appreciate y'all coming in here, hanging out with me, and go Bills, baby.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I wanted to thank you for stopping by to listen to another episode here on the Sports History Network. Our podcasters are passionate about uncovering and sharing sports stories from yesteryear. And if you didn't know it already, we have over 30 shows across the network covering all sorts of sports history topics. In fact, here's a glimpse into one of our awesome podcasts here on the network.
The Pigskin Tales podcast is all about the lesser-known pro football players. Yes, there are stories about the ones we know, like Brad Tarkenton and Harold Red Grange. But have you ever heard of Ernie Nevers? How about Dave Osborne or even Grady Alderman? These men created their own path to the NFL. How did they do it? Listen to the Pigskin Tales podcast, now streaming on your favorite music platform. Go to pigskintales.com.
How about that? I bet you're super hyped to go listen to that new podcast, right? Well, to learn about this show and all the other podcasts on the network, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com/podcasts. Again, that's sportshistorynetwork.com/podcasts. Head over there today to find your next favorite sports history podcast.